So I wanted to make a quick video while the live stream is still happening on the poll value for Gowther versus Elizabeth, and honestly, it's very disappointing. I mean, there's obviously going to be stuff that we didn't see with the potentials and stuff, but I'm going to go through this kit really quickly, what they showed us, and then I'll make a separate video covering everything from the live stream as well as the update details. So I'm going to go through this really quickly, but if you want to see the other parts that I put out later, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. That'd be great. But I'll probably pull him just for the showcase and stuff, but let's actually start. So skill effects, they already showed this. Produces lightning defense that have lightning burst on them. So enemies that you burst with Gowther, then he's a burster on the lightning, which is kind of useless because if you have Merlin and Daisy. So I will say if you have Merlin and Daisy, do not pull Gowther. If you don't have Daisy, then Gowther becomes more valuable. And if you don't have Merlin, forget Gowther, bro. Like, Merlin by herself is so strong. Like, you almost don't need her to be supported except Daisy with the combined ultimate. Now, if you like Gowther's design, go for him. But we have the weapon. This weapon, I think you could honestly put on Merlin if maybe. I mean, it's probably not going to be better than the Black Flame, but you could consider it if it has lightning attack. This doesn't give you normal skill damage. If it did, it could have been better, but activating a lightning burst decreases all allied heroes' lightning damage. Increases, but you're probably better off sticking with the Black Flame anyway, just putting it out there. And then engraved equipment increases pierce against enemies that have barriers. This is going to be something with the spider nest or like the new boss, but again, gives you lightning attack. If you have Merlin, it's like she doesn't really, again, need support, okay? So I'm going to talk about Elizabeth later. And then again, this is the kit. If you want to take a pause and read it yourself. Don't want to keep the video too long, but let's take a look at this. This is the staff, and they were talking about how this is the grimoire, so, you know, I don't know what they're doing. But this one doesn't have the engraved set. The adventure skill, by the way, for him is applies an effect that halts enemies' movements, both to normal and elite enemies. This is not for bosses, so that's something else. But a support hero that decreases enemies' lightning resistance and deals more damage. Also increases buff duration. This does help with Merlin and Daisy, but like Daisy's buffs are already very long. And then decreases enemies' lightning resistance and pierce of lightning attack heroes. So lightning resistance is very good. That does increase your damage quite a bit, and you also get some pierce. But again, all of this is just more like damage. It's not anything technical, if that makes sense. Like mechanically changing how your characters play. He does have a burst though, so this is where it comes in handy. If you don't have Daisy, you can pull Gowther and do a combined ultimate with Merlin, so that's very good. So if you don't have Daisy, I would consider pulling Gowther over Elizabeth, but again, going over to Elizabeth in a second. Here is his grimoire that's physical. Now, I think they dropped the ball by not giving us a darkness on, let's say, lightning or staff, because that would have been useful for both Meliodas, which everybody has basically, and also when Bond came out, or comes out, you would use the darkness one with Bond as well. But anyway, skill effect, this is basically an effect that is shared between enemies. Let me go if I can pull it up right here. You see this? They're linked, so I believe the damage is shared, which could be kind of useful because if you do like a damage to one enemy at once, like a big number of damage, then it might be shared, but I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to wait till the actual kit details for them to put that out, and then I'll make that video again later today. So please subscribe for that. And then here we have some teams they were showing. So the engraved equipment is pretty good though. Increases enemies crit damage and all elemental damage when increasing using the ultimate move damage. So I'm assuming this is for like a 30-second buff or something like that. But yeah, they just go back to the staff. Now, one thing I will say is the animations are very clean. Like they look very good. So if I show you here, there's just like, you can see there's a lot of particle effects going on, so that's going to be cluttering your screen a little bit, but he's going to be a very good lightning support. There's no denying it, but if I actually go here, right, I mean, most of you guys probably use wind on Daisy anyway, the wind engraved set for the crit chance and crit defense, but the lightning one, it's not terrible. Each time allied hero receives a crit chance boost, your lightning damage goes up. This is a level 1, and then when you have the max effect, your crit damage goes up. So this is probably 40%, I'm not sure. I'm just guessing with the crit damage. But let's say this is like 20% lightning damage, 40% crit damage. That's pretty comparable to the wind outfit as well. They're both good. But you have Daisy, right? She can give you your lightning damage, and then from here, she reduces the enemy crit resistance. She reduces the crit defense through her wind outfit. And then this gives you, or is it the electric charge, increases your crit damage by 40%, crit chance by, I think 30%, I don't remember, something like that. And then even if you do this ult solo with enough debuff duration efficiency, you reduce the enemy crit defense by 50% for like, let's say 15 seconds. That's also really good, right? So you have all this stuff going for her. And then if you have a higher potential, which some of you do, crit damage increased by 15% additional, so 45, and then you have, or 30, I don't remember. And then you have another crit defense lower here by 15%. So most of you might have, a lot of you, not most, have potential 6 Daisy because of the rerun. That's really useful. And then the charge up on this makes it so you get those crit damage and crit chance buffs faster. This one, electric charge, because there's more turrets doing damage. So that's how you would replace Gowther. Basically, you don't need, and again, Merlin just does so much damage with the right setup currently. Like, you don't really need more unless you're doing speed runs, okay? With the current setup, you can clear basically everything that's lightning so easily. And then you have Elizabeth, because she's triple elemental and Gowther is not. If Gowther had a darkness in there, that would increase his pull value quite a lot, because Meliodas is darkness again and Bond could be darkness. But if you don't get Elizabeth, you're making the game so much harder than it needs to be, because she basically almost never lets you die unless you die purposefully, okay? This heal is insane. The ultimate heal is insane. The defense shatter or defense reduce is insane. Gowther does have defense shatter, so that will increase your damage. But again, most of it seems around increasing your damage to your main DPS. But again, if it's someone like Merlin who already has a lot of damage, you're kind of not needing that, in my opinion. And then you have the wind support on Liz. Very good. You have to have her on the wind team. We just need a wind burster or wind burst and healer at the same unit. And then Earth has the burster. So if you have crit damage and Earth burst efficiency, then that's it. You're golden. So yeah, 3 different types of support on 3 different teams, and all of them are very good. Just at even potential 4. We don't even have the other engrave set for Earth yet, but you have this one that is for the wind, right? Increases crit damage by 42%. That's insane. And then crit chance and buff duration efficiency by 30% as well. So if you haven't pulled Liz yet, go ahead and pull her, please, because you're going to regret it. Like, it's kind of like Daisy when she went away the first time. I'll probably pull Gowther just for showcases and stuff, but if I change my mind, I'll again make that video letting you guys know that you should probably pull Gowther. But again, I don't see it happening. I just think that, like, Daisy is already so good. Merlin is such a good DPS. Elizabeth is such a good support that you kind of don't need Daisy or Gowther. And then after Daisy, Gowther. Oh my goodness, after Gowther is going to be Darieri, most likely. And then after that is Bond. So I would recommend saving for Bond. Most likely, again, his typings are going to be physical, earth, and darkness, maybe, just a guess. And you have earth support here, you have a healer here. We don't have darkness support. That's what I was hoping for Gowther. But yeah, that's what I wanted to make this video. I would really suggest you get Liz. You can think about if you want Gowther later or not. But if Liz goes away and Spider Dungeon is tough, you're going to have a hard time without her. So yeah, I'll make more videos covering the live stream and the rest of the update later. So if you made it to the end, I would appreciate it if you could like the video so more people see this, and go watch one of these other videos next. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and Jericho says bye-bye.